IBM is a hybrid cloud and AI company. We support mainframe, power, and storage. We also support cloud and cognitive, blockchain, the weather company, and most recently, quantum. We are in more than 170 countries around the world. Our headquarters is based out of Armonk, New York, and we're here in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina, one of our largest North America sites.
IBM is a very purpose-driven company. Our purpose is to be essential for our clients. In terms of our values, IBM has three. The first one, dedication to client success. Number two, innovation that matters for a company and for the world. And number three, trust and personal responsibilities. So this is what we look for when we look for an IBMer. At IBM, we think our greatest invention is the IBMer. We come from all different backgrounds, but we have all one thing in common, technology in our hearts. So we have various different programs in terms of hiring. Some that might be of interest to you is our IBM Apprentice program, our New Collar Jobs, and our college hires. And we have great relationships with the local universities and tech colleges around the area. So one of the things that I love about IBM is their diversity and inclusion. Here, diversity and inclusion is not just a catchphrase, it's in everything we do. It's in how we support our clients, in how we innovate, and how we build relationships with one another. We have employee business groups that support each of the different areas of diversity and inclusion, from Native American, African American, veterans, our green team, and of course, Hispanics. So when you come to IBM, you come into a culture of inclusivity where you feel welcome and able to be your whole self at work.
So as I was a young boy, I experienced census for the very first time when I was in my home country. And then talking to these enumerators of the census, asking them questions about data and them explaining to me how data was going to be very helpful for the planning of our communities, I gained interest in pursuing a career in data analytics. I came in the United States to do a Master's in Business Administration at George Mason University in Virginia. Unfortunately, my sponsor canceled. So I was stranded and I reached out to the founders of Embrace Uganda, which is a non-profit based in Wake Forest in North Carolina. Now, Embrace Uganda were one of the main sponsors of the orphanage that I grew up from when I was in Uganda. So they told me that, Eddie, we cannot afford that school, but we can transfer you to Wake Tech Community College. And when I was at Wake Tech, I decided to pursue an associate's in data science because I have a passion for analytics. So when I enrolled in my classes at Wake Tech, I faced a few challenges. I was taking coding classes for the very first time, but I was very amazed by the resources that they have for student success. Wake Tech has tutoring centers where I used to go to improve my coding skills. Our instructors at Wake Tech had office hours where we could go and ask any questions to help us understand whatever concepts that were not very clear in class. So Wake Tech has an outstanding partnership with companies in North Carolina, like IBM. I was invited to do interviews for a data science internship within supply chain. I began my internship at IBM on a work-based program. I was taking classes at Wake Tech Community College, and I was doing also part-time at IBM as a data science intern. During my internship experience at IBM, I was given access to online resources that allowed me to improve my technical skills. On top of that, I was surrounded by a very supportive team. These people encouraged me, they mentored me. After that, I began my master's in data analytics at North Carolina State University. With the career in data science, I really want to get some industry experience within the United States, and then I hope to go back after some time in my home country because I believe there is so much that I can do with data analytics within Uganda. One of the problems that Uganda faces is that it loses so many children due to malaria. And what causes that is that hospitals are not able to track well the seasons of malaria. And I hope that with all the experience and knowledge that I'll acquire from here, I'll be able to encourage, first of all, hospitals to rely more on data and to find patterns in the data that can help them predict those seasons so that they can be more prepared when seasons of malaria come.
I went to NC State University. I majored in business, and I really fell in love with supply chain, and thankfully they had it as a concentration. And from there, I went to every business fair. I talked to the same IBMers over and over again, to the point I think they got a little annoyed with me. But I made some friends along the way. I actually found myself a job after some mock interviews. I am a supply chain specialist focused on security products for the worldwide markets. One of the best parts to working in the supply chain to me is my team is global. I, of course, work here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I work with several teams in Mexico, in Scotland, in Canada, in Singapore even. And although the hours get a little bit tough to organize, everyone's a really close-knit group. My team is in charge of making sure we get the inventory we need, building the right number of machines, the right machines that the customer wants, as well as making sure it gets to our end customer safely and securely. For example, one of our best-selling products is our Hydro Rack. These Hydro Racks are really great at supporting our customers' server farms, making sure they can keep data nice and secure, keep it flowing very well for both themselves as well as their customers. They help support the usage of cell phone data, anything that goes from an Xbox or a PS4. It helps make sure all that data can go smoothly and effectively, and they keep their customers running as well. There are many components to the Hydro Rack. The Hydro Rack is composed of sub-assemblies, disk enclosures, drawers, and a base. Each of the sub-assemblies have components. Frames have brackets, cables, covers, doors, labels, racks, screws, switches, and ties. A base has a drawer, which has ports, a disk enclosure, labels, and a card pop. And a disk enclosure will have hard drives, carriers, and screws. Given that there are so many parts, a matrix system just makes the most sense. It allows me to take all the parts individually and make it more visual for myself, so I can almost envision what I'm building. It's going to start building up until we get to the final system. A single Hydro Rack base is composed of 8 hard drives. So if a customer wanted 4 base units, we would take that and multiply it by 4. But in case they wanted a single unit and a couple of expansions, let's say 2, then I know I need still 1 base unit, but I would be multiplying the number of expansions by 2. Your task is to use the spreadsheet to both organize the data and create matrices to help support these customer orders. Using the matrices you have created, you will compute the amount needed for different components. You will also work with inventory values to find the number of components you can create. And at the end of these tasks, you will complete some error analysis. Excel will do most of the work for you. Just make sure you have all of your formulas properly formatted. Check back on the bill of materials often to make sure you have all of the numbers correct and that your bases and expansions are being calculated separately, because nobody likes slow streaming. Thank you for working with IBM today.